Well, here we are again for Let's Talk FGC episode 13. Guys, it's been only a week. No break in between episodes this time, and next week we've got another episode. It's great to be back once again. If it's your first time joining us, let me give you a little rundown of Let's Talk FGC. Today is a first to 10 Q&A between me and my guest. A somewhat deep dive into what the FGC might not know about them, their views, and some interesting topics along the way. If you would like to follow me and find out more about FGC Africa and Sheldzable, please check out my link tree in my Twitter. It's at Sheldzable on Twitter, or hit !socials in the YouTube or Twitch chat. Today's guest is FGC Africa's own Titan Slayer. The man took second place recently in the Kollesuem South and East Africa with arguably one of the hardest runs I've ever seen. And same can be said for his second place finish at CGL Konsole Kombat South East Africa as well. Some consider him the underdog, the BGH movement, but I know him as the Kenyan King. BGH, how are you doing, my dude?
Hey Sheldon, I'm doing great today. Looking forward to this.
Good, my man. So hello to the chat. I see we got AK joining us, Boy Wonder, Brian. Thank you guys for all coming to hang out. You guys know the drill. Drop your name at Sheldzable in the chat if you'd like to ask some questions later, but I'll drop that information again halfway through. BGH, let's go straight into question number one. Let's hear about your intro into the FGC and competitive fighting games mainly. Give us your grassroots. Where do you come from?
Okay, so the very first fighting game I played, it was more of a casual game for me. When I was a kid and my older brothers used to love playing it, was Dead or Alive 3 on Xbox.
Yeah.
So I just used to, most of my time was just spent watching them play because I really didn't know how to do anything. And I liked some of the characters, like I remember there was a ninja character. I really liked the ninja character. And there was also a demon character. I think that was like a boss or something. Yeah, so I just really liked the characters. It was cool, but I never took it further, because I was just most of the time I was just taking beatings from them. So okay. I never really I didn't have the competitive edge the competitive drive that I do have today.
Yeah.
So fast forward a couple of years and I was still playing shooting games competitively. I enjoyed I've always been very competitive by nature. So I loved playing shooting games. I was doing that really well. And then in 2018, I think, right before MK11 came out, I was just this is so random. I was randomly on YouTube watching videos of esports, and then I came across a video of top 10 Evo moments or something.
Okay.
And then I saw I think the number one spot was the Daigo parry. Daigo versus was it Justin Wong?
Yeah, infamous.
So I remember seeing that. Yeah, I remember seeing that and thinking to myself that is the hypest thing I've ever seen, and just the way the crowd erupted and everything. And then at that moment, I was just I have to get into fighting games. It just clicked in my head because I've always in team-based games, I've always hated relying on teammates and stuff.
Yeah.
So it just clicked in my head I like anime and I like fights in anime and stuff. So fighting games would just be the hypest thing to do. So I just told myself I'm gonna give it a shot and grind it out. And MK11 was coming out around the same time, a couple months later. So I gave that a shot. I was it's a new game, might as well jump into it and see how it goes. So yeah, that's how I got into playing fighting games competitively.
So it was Dead or Alive before that. So there was no other NRS title. You hadn't done any of the other MKXs before. That's impressive.
No, it was Dead or Alive 3, barely played it, and then just a huge gap of not even touching fighting games ever, and then all of a sudden just 11. Going into MK11.
Wow, I'm not gonna lie to you, that's quite impressive because it took me MK9, MK11, and MKX to get even remotely Good. So that's really
Yeah,
cool to jump in and be so
I mean,
dedicated to it.
yeah, I mean, the first year I was like absolutely terrible. Like I remember trying to play online and then just ending up playing more of like the towers and the AI missions and story stuff. Like I was more of a casual then, because like every time I'd go online, I just wouldn't know what I'm doing. But at the same time, like I would actually be trying to learn and stuff, and I would watch so many streams. I remember a PND, ketchup and mustard.
Yeah.
That was like a big help for me, like learning the game and stuff, because they really like dumbed it down from like beginner level to like advanced, and like I've slowly started learning something called frame data, learning turns, learning punish, all these new terms and stuff, and then slowly I was getting better each day. The first year I was just terrible, yeah. And then
It's
after
funny.
I started
It's
seeing
funny
more
that you say
improvement.
that. Hey, the whole. I was trying to explain this to a couple of my friends that don't play fighting games, because people that watch this, they go, "Oh, let's talk FGC." You know, obviously there's going to be a bunch of terms that you don't understand, and when people think about when I used to tell them, "Hey, yeah, I used to compete in Mortal Kombat X in South Africa, and I played in like a whole bunch of tournaments, and I did pretty okay." And they go, "Oh wow, you know you must be pretty good." And I go, "Yeah, I'm okay. I mean, like I know the game very well." And then I play them, and then obviously I absolutely annihilate them. And then they go, "Oh, I thought this game was just mash buttons and sometimes get some kind of special move to come out and go, oh, that was cool." I was like, no, it's actually a lot more complicated than you think it is on the surface. Visually,
Yeah,
the game
literally all my
looks
friends.
gory, but they
Yeah.
forget that there's so much more to it.
Yeah. Literally, like if you hand someone like who doesn't really play these games like seriously a controller, like the first thing they're doing is they don't even look at the moves or anything. They just go straight to like pressing all the buttons they can, and it's the funniest thing because like in a shooting game you wouldn't see that. Like people would go in and like they'd know roughly what to do. Look around. Things are similar. But in fighting games you always see that just mashing buttons, and it's the funniest thing when like how the game is actually supposed to play it. It's just hilarious seeing them press every single button and
100%.
try and win.
Tell me, this is
Yeah.
not part of the questions, but it came to my mind. Did you do you now just see past the gore, like the gore of Mortal Kombat? I think for me, it's kind
Oh
of
yeah.
like you don't see it anymore.
Yeah.
You just see. Oh, okay, that was plus. Okay, I should probably whiff punish that, or okay, I should probably anti-air and see my options.
Yeah.
And people
Yeah, I
watching.
remember when I first yeah, when I first started playing, like seeing crushing blows, and they looked so brutal to me, and fatalities and stuff. I remember because I started off with Noob Cybot, so I remember Noob's fatality, the one where he like splits you in half. That was the most gory thing I've ever seen. But like I used to love doing, I used to love doing fatalities because like I would be farming the heads for the crypts,
Yeah,
so I just do them all the time, and then I just saw it so many times and saw so many different characters. They tell you like you get used to it, but like anytime someone else sees me playing and they see that they it's never normal to them.
100%, dude.
Yeah.
When my wife used to come in and I'd be like, "Oh yeah, here we go," and I didn't even bother even learning because I'd won so many easy fatality tokens as R2 triangle circle whatever. Just
Oh
quickly.
yeah, I used to know almost. Yeah,
Yeah, and she'd go, "Oh my gosh,
I
it's
used to know
disgusting."
almost all the.
The inputs.
Yeah, the inputs. Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. You have to know them, especially if you're playing in
Yeah.
tournaments. But I think
Yeah.
Noob Saibot has easily got one of the grotesque sounding fatalities when he
Oh, the
rips out the
sound.
mouth. Yeah, that sound
Oh my God,
is so
it's
gross.
disgusting.
It's so gross. And it's
Yeah.
celery. I saw a video the other day of like
Yeah.
how they make the sounds and stuff. And like
Yeah. Oh yeah, I saw that too.
did you see it? Yeah, it was quite interesting. I was like, oh,
Yeah.
that kind of loses
Yeah.
its flavor a little bit. Um,
Yeah.
but
Kills the
still,
magic.
still very cool though. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember the Noob Saibot's one. It was really bad, but like the most visceral one was the Kotal Khan's one where he summons the totem. Like till now, like I can't
It's
like
the
I still
impact. It's the
can't look
impact
at
of
that
it.
fatal.
It's so
Yeah,
rough.
it's when he kicks your head back. It's
Yeah.
just it's
I
too much.
definitely think that's
Yeah,
probably in my top five. I think we spoke about this before, but
yeah,
um, the the I think top 5 fatalities from Mortal Kombat for me is Garrus's rip off the wall, Noob Saibot's split open, Shang Tsung's lava pit where he like pulls the demons pull the person down.
Oh yeah, that one. That was cool.
Sindel's hair one where it goes through you.
That's a good one too.
Oh, what's number 5 for me? Okay, I only got 4. Have you got a couple that are your favorites?
Yeah. My favorite ones easily are Shao Kahn's ones. Like his fatalities are just like the funniest and the weirdest things ever. So those are my favorites. And yeah, when I first started playing the game, like Shao Kahn was the coolest character to me. So I'd say those two. Like,
can you explain?
I don't know if you can count them as one. Okay. So one of them, he slices you open like from here to like your chest here, and then he smashes your head down so that it makes like a funny image of like your head is over here, and you just look weird. And then the final blow is like him just like cutting you completely in half, like, and
your head
that's everywhere, and your head falling down.
Yeah, I've seen that one. That was pretty good.
Yeah, it's messed up. And the other one, he literally hits you with his hammer, and then you bend down, and he like smashes your head through, and like goes all the way through and out your back. So it's just crazy.
Yeah, I've seen that one.
It's the funniest one to me.
Doesn't happen often. Doesn't happen often to me, so I don't lose to Shao.
Yeah, because you don't see. Yeah. But hey, lately these days, Shao is a beast.
He's definitely hitting.
You never know. Yeah.
Well, talking about placements, this is going into our second question. You obviously know we're busy rating stuff, but now you've had 2 second place, 2, I'd say very hectic second place finishes. But second place finishes aren't what you want in fighting games. You want to be number 1. But I feel like there's this huge sense of pride in those wins. As I said in the beginning when I was introducing your, the things that you did, you took on the likes of Killjoy, Panda Bear, Mr. 5000, Valved Overkill, Marcus Shark, guys that have been playing fighting games. They have come on this podcast before for a long time. They've been playing it for a long time. And you've come out on top on some occasions. Now, you haven't entered every tournament, as we were talking about. Sometimes some things just don't work out internet-wise, or you'll take the loss depending on, what's going on with work or your studies or whatnot. But when you do, you give it your all. And I've said this to Blano, and me and AK actually spoke about it as well. It's been some of the most exciting Mortal Kombat I've ever watched. So, my question to you, for sure, what has your journey with MK11 been like getting to this point, and what advice would you give to other players who want to improve?
Okay, so I didn't talk about like my intro to the like FGC Africa and specifically in the first answer, so I could touch on that because it's relevant to this question.
Sure.
So I found out about FGC Africa through an organization called Tekken 254 in Kenya. So they're mainly in Tekken, run by Davey, and he like does tournaments for like MK as well. And this was before COVID, so he would have like an offline circuit for both Tekken and MK. So I got introduced to like the Kenyan scene through that, and like I remember I signed up for the circuit. Obviously, COVID happened like 2 months in, so I signed up. I was in the first few, and I got to know like the Kenyan FCC, and Stax was a big name in that. So that was like my first taste of like the competition in Africa, and like I like at that point like I really thought I thought I was really good. So I went in, I was like, oh, I'm just gonna beat all these guys.
Yeah.
So I went in, I played Stax, and I played another guy called Baraza and another guy called Adam. So these are like the top 3 in Kenya.
Yeah.
Back then. And I was getting absolutely mocked by Stax. I was getting mocked by Baraza, mocked by Adam. Like I was getting mocked by everyone. And then I realized, damn, like I'm not even close to as good as I thought I was. So that's when like the grind started for me, and like I was introduced to like the bigger scene in FGC Africa, which is like the South Africa players and the Zambian players and so on. So Stax was, he was like showing me the ropes and stuff, telling me like who I need to play to like get better. He was really like pushing me and like really wanted me to see like me like get better and eventually be beating these guys. So once I was introduced to them, like because of my ISP back then, I couldn't connect to a lot of people. So I could only connect to like one or two people from South Africa, and then no one from Zambia. So I had to switch up my ISP once I got better internet. Started playing guys, and the first person I played was Brandon because he used to stream often.
Yeah.
So I reached out to Brandon and was like, "Hey, can I get some games?" And he offered. He was like, "Cool." And then I played him and got absolutely washed. So I came from being washed by like the Kenyan players, slowly improving like over a couple of months. And then I played Brandon and I got absolutely washed by him. So now it's like a whole different level now. Because
Yeah.
like when I was playing the Kenyan guys, I was slowly catching up to them. So I was like, okay, this is doable. And then I played Brandon and I played, I remember playing Pyra, and I also played Grant from Tanzania, and just thinking, damn, these guys are on a whole different level. Like I just, when you play someone and you just know like you're several levels behind, and you're just thinking about how much you have to grind to get to that level. So
100%.
that was really
Time.
pushing me. And yeah, literally I would be beat like 20 something to like 3 or something, and that would be like casually like I'd be beat so bad like I'm like I can't do this anymore. So but that was motivating me because I was like, I'm gonna reach them, like it's gonna happen. I just need to like keep holding these losses and stuff. So when I played Grant, he really helped me level up a lot. I asked him like what I can do to like improve my gameplay and stuff, and he literally like wrote me like essays like of like things I can improve
Nice.
on me personally as a player. Yeah.
I,
So I
I love
took
that about our
those, I
community.
tried to implement it in my gameplay, and there was so much stuff like I had no idea about. Like I was like, never came across my mind. Like small things like I was poking too much back then. Like even when it was my turn, like I was poking too much, giving up my turn, letting him do what he wants.
Yeah.
Small stuff like that. So I worked on that stuff. Played eventually. Like it just took like so many hours of grinding and so many hours of like playing people better than you and losing, until like I finally realized the trick was you have to play someone better than the person you're losing to. So I had to keep fighting someone better than the person I'm losing to, and then I'd eventually catch up
to
to the
level
old
up.
person I was losing to. Yeah, so that was like my little trick to like catching up to everyone. And yeah, just hours of playing, hours of analyzing my own matches and other people's matches. And that's like another part to like leveling up as well. You need to like understand the people you're playing against as well. You need to understand their tendencies and stuff. So just studying them as well. And Grant really helped me with that. He gave me like the because he had been in the scene before, so he played a lot of these guys. So he would give me like some small tips of like what to do against certain like top players and stuff.
You know,
So I'd
the
take
little
that and try
nuances.
to.
Yeah.
He gave me like the little cheat sheet on all the FGC African players. So yeah, I was yeah, focused on that. And
Yeah.
yeah, eventually like I started catching up. The first small tournament that I actually played was it was one of those ACGL like it was
Oh,
like
one of their like
it was a
their
random tournament
weeklies.
over the weekend.
Oh, one of their weekend ones. Yeah.
Yeah, one of those. Yeah, it
Online.
wasn't happening weekly though at that time. Yeah, but yeah, it was an online thing. Yeah,
Okay.
so I played in that, and that was like the first time I played like in a tournament in like the versus like South African players and SA players and Zambian players as well.
Nice.
So I got third in that. I remember I lost to Rossi and Will. So yeah, I got third in that, and then from there I was just like trying to enter as many tournaments as I can. And AK Slay and there was also exhibition matches as well. I was really trying to get into the exhibition matches as well. So yeah, I was just very hungry to like catch up to these guys like Killjoy, Z, Justin, Mark, Brandon. All these guys were so far ahead of me. I was just like very eager to like catch up to them and
Well,
beat them.
that's a
So
true underdog story. The way that the story and the path, which is really nice
mm,
to hear. I'm sure a lot of people will enjoy that. to hear the roots and the way that you came to reach this point, and looking up at these players and then playing someone better than you. And 9 times out of 10, that's the exact advice every fighting player gives to another fighting player. Is the best way to improve is to play someone better than you. And that's exactly how I got even remotely better when I started in with MKX. Was I was playing para every day. And then slowly but surely I was able to win a match, and then I was able to win 2 matches, and then I was able to win 3 matches. But I was still going on those long sets, 33 or 34, just never, reaching on top. And yeah, it's a true testament to the 1v1 battle that is fighting games.
Yeah, one more important thing I forgot to mention about, like, when it comes to like getting better as well, I think this is the most important thing as well, is your mentality towards the your mentality towards the game, and like how you treat your losses and how you treat your wins and stuff. It's so important to, like, when, like, I see this mistake with so many players. They will lose a set, they'll lose a tournament set or exhibition match or whatever, and then like the first thought that comes to their mind is like, they look for excuses as to why they lost, instead of like reasons to why they lost, and like what kind of flaws they made in the play style and stuff. You have to really be able to criticize yourself and understand that, like, you're not as good as you think you are, and there's always going to be someone better. So you have to, like, be able to, like, critique your gameplay and look back at matches and be like, okay, so I was doing this too much, I was doing this too little, and mentality is a huge thing when it comes to improving.
It's funny because I find a lot of players that have left, and that has been one of the reasons, is handling your loss. It's hard, it's tough, it's something that I don't think a lot of people can do, because with the other games it's so easy to retry. You're like, oh cool, say Call of Duty or Warzone, you're like, I'll just drop in the next match, or I'll for FIFA I'll just play another game. Okay, FIFA maybe not so much because it's still kind of 1v1, but it's, with team-based games, it's kind of like you can blame your teammates and blame something else.
You can fall back on your teammates.
There's sections that you can choose to blame on other than yourself, but with fighting games there is nothing else to blame. There's only you. And I think a lot of players, they'll just sit there and go, well, look, lag. Okay, that's sometimes, sure. Lag can easily be blamed, sure. But you really do have to pick a top tier and play the game the way it's meant to be played. And if you lose to the way...
and it's...
it's funny, I was on the back end of a conversation about this, actually. I play Nightwolf. Now, I play Nightwolf the most irritating way possible. And people hate it. They absolutely hate it. And that's exactly where the character not necessarily was designed to be played, but it wins fights. And if it wins fights, I'm doing the right thing. And rather than looking inwards and improving like the FGC should, that's the whole
in
point.
Like fighting games, exactly. In fighting games, like the whole, like, you go into a match, the whole thing you're aiming for is to win the match. So it doesn't matter what you did, it doesn't matter how you won the match, as long as, like, obviously not like lag switching and stuff like that, obviously within the boundaries of the rules of the game. As long as you won, it really doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what character you use. It doesn't, like, nobody cares about, well, people do, like, care about that stuff, but, like, when it comes to winning or losing, it does, like, a win is a win, loss is a loss. You just have to roll with it.
You do. Interesting tip.
I think that's why, like, it's like people get really salty, is because it's really personal. 1v1.
It is
personal. You lost to that guy, like,
they drop you up in your DMs.
That's why they look for, like, other reasons.
Eat it.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Yeah. Oof. The amount of, like, salty.
It hurts me. I tell you what, I've been hurt many
BS messages
by that
I have.
kind of stuff.
And in my first year, actually, I was a really salty player.
I straight up turned off BS messages, bro, because I turned it off, dude, because I was just getting so much hate on players' side.
I love the hate. I love the hate. Like, I love, like, being able to see like, oh, I really got to this guy, you know,
Feed
like
me,
it's just
feed
amazing.
me.
Like I was, yeah,
uh,
yeah. I mean, yeah, I was like in my first year of playing, like I was a really toxic player. Like I used to play Scorpion and just play in the most lamest way possible with his mid teleport, you know, jump back, you
yeah.
know, just absolutely like when I would get people on the mic like raging at me, like it was the best feeling ever. Like when I know I've irritated the person on the other side, it's like it's a
Yeah.
bonus win as well.
Here's a little funny story for you. I hadn't had my headset plugged in, but the guy did. And this is my favorite story about this guy that absolutely raged with me on Kombat League. And he's busy playing. I obviously destroy him, and he just goes off on this wire. Hey, he says, "Wow, wow, 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 wow." He's just swearing me broken. And my missus hears this, and she's like, "No way, is he actually saying those things?" I mean, he was saying like, you know, I should go die, like put myself in a pit, kind of shit. And I'm
Oh,
like, yo, I said, why didn't you get on the mic and tell him he got beaten by a girl? And dude, it was probably one of my favorite moments because she plugs in the mic and she goes, "Oh, you're so salty. You can't believe you lost to a girl." And this guy just instantly just dead. Just didn't know what to say. And
oh, but that is genius.
it was her idea
That
too.
is
It was
genius.
her idea, so she can take the genius side of that. But yeah, that's an
Oh, that was
interesting little tidbit about Sout.
amazing play by Miss Sheldon.
Mrs. Sheldzable with the straight up plus frames.
Miss Sheldon. Sheldon.
Another
That's
little
great.
interesting nitbit was you was talking about Arriva Stacks earlier. Me and him had a running joke back in the day because he has a cell phone company, and I said to him I needed to get sponsored, so I asked him if I could say I was sponsored by him in my Twitter. I had that for like a year, so I was sponsored by his
Yeah.
cell phone company or his
Oh,
cell phone
okay.
repair company. I don't know if you know about it. Anyways,
I didn't. No, I didn't know about it.
yeah,
Like
he has.
I was introduced to like the scene in like 2020. So yeah.
Yeah. So, anyways, a little further back, but yeah, if he watches that stream back, that'll be a little
That's cool.
a little montage thing that he might remember, which is quite funny. Talking about
Yeah.
Salt and the scene and the whole way Africa is as a scene. We and you have spoken about how just before we climbed on the podcast, we were speaking about how FGC Africa has done things to grow. But I want to know, how do you feel the FGC is in Africa, especially in Kenya, in its current state, and what can we do to improve it?
Mm. Okay, so I think the tournament organizers and like the admin teams, like you guys are doing amazing work. Like can't like complain about anything. Like just keep doing what you're doing. Like that's amazing. Yeah, because you're getting us to be seen and stuff, and like being able to like do organize like an event with CGO and Mr. Ackerman and the Kollesuem, like that sort of stuff is just amazing, and that's great. Just you guys keep doing you. I'd say the heavy lifting needs to come from the players, and uh, I noticed something like in the African scene, like a lot of players like there's a very like casual approach to like the game. Obviously, like some people might think they're like playing competitively, but like a lot of players, they just they play the game for fun, because people have jobs, they need to people have school and stuff. So when they hop on the game, they're not always thinking, I want to have a sweaty set or whatever. It's mostly like mostly casual players.
Yeah,
So that's fine, but I'd say the ones focusing on like competing and like being competitive, you just like need to put a lot of work into like get to that level, and you have to like help each other. Like that's a really crucial part about it. Like help each other get better, exchange like tips and stuff. Main a huge reason why I was able to get better and improve so quickly was because I had a really good training partner in Grant. Like we'd play almost every day, and he would like give me tips and advice and everything. And like I think everyone who's serious about competing and getting better needs to have like someone that can also push them and be able to like point out where their flaws are, and be ready to like ask, be free to like ask. Like if someone's beating you, just ask them, hey, what do you think I'm doing wrong and everything, and like just try to work on that. Don't that
yeah,
would be a huge thing. And as for the FGC in Kenya, yeah, I mean, it's not that big for MK11, but like I'd say for Tekken and yeah, for mainly Tekken, like I mentioned earlier, Tekken 254, they're doing really great stuff. They're providing like weekly events, and they're really good at like showcasing their talents, and they are a really strong scene. And yeah, the players really work hard and like help each other a lot. So I'd say the Tekken scene is really big. MK11, not so much. You don't see. I think a lot of people like they preferred the previous games, MKX. So you'd see like most people going back to that for like the fun of it, you know. So you don't see much of like a competitive scene for MK11 as of now, at least.
Yeah.
Yeah, it can still be worked on, you know. It
Well,
takes a lot of heavy lifting from the players.
I think it's a good segue into the next question, but my heart stands with you in the exact one there before. FGC Africa can improve itself by simply the players helping each other. And I think that's what a lot of the players have been doing throughout the whole 2 years and 3 months life cycle of MK11 was it was players looking after each other, helping each other improve, inviting each other to WhatsApp groups, inviting each other to Discords, come play in exhibition matches, come play in tournaments. People were enjoying the game together, and I think that is definitely what FGC in Africa needs to continue doing. So I agree with you there. It's just help each other improve.
Yeah.
But talking
especially
about
when it comes to like competing.
Yeah.
Sorry, especially when it comes to competing, like if you're trying to compete and like get really good, you know, not just good in like Africa. If you want to like be good on like just in general in a international sense, then you can't just open the game and, you know, play a couple of matches and just be like, okay, or play some matches of KL and just be done with it. You know, you really need to put in the work and the grind, you know. And you might be like good in like Africa, like let's say not even Africa, like South and East Africa, because I don't know much about the North and West Africa scene. So you might be good in South, you might be really good in South and East Africa, but like if you go up against competition from like let's say UK or Middle East, you know, you might see that, oh, you're not as good as you think. So like, don't just think of like the limit as being good in Africa. You know, you want to like push yourself to like be good on an international sense as well.
For sure.
That will keep you going.
Well, I was talking about the life cycle just before this of Mortal Kombat, and you actually had a discussion with Charlie Wolf Gaming on their episode called why did NRS do this? For anyone who wants to know why that hashtag was used, hashtag why did NRS do this? Who was the player that made that his game?
It was Titanium Tigers.
Titanium Tigers, who actually somehow sneaked his way into one of our FGC Africa cots, which is really funny because we were actually just playing.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, what a weird thing to happen, and I don't know who he was. So there's me and Blano just chatting.
It was. Yeah, because it was in the rooms, so he must have joined like a random room and then a random cot. Yeah, so that was funny.
And he was just coming out to whoop our ass, and meanwhile we just kicked him out. We just said, no, not today, buddy.
Yeah.
But talking about that podcast and that episode of Charlie Wolf Gaming, you know, there was a broke meta with Shiva at the time, for some time, until they changed a bunch of things. And now Cabal, at least by me, is considered very top tier. As this...
Yeah, but he's not like Shiva, though. Like, he actually takes some training and stuff to do, you know. It's not like down up and you win matches.
Sure, but I mean, like, obviously, but I mean, it's like now, obviously, there is a certain meta. But now, that's the meta. This is it. You know, there's nothing's going to change. So, my question to you...
No, nothing.
No, nothing. This is it. This is what we've got to live with. And a lot of people won't let the game die. Look, I still play MKX. And I probably will still continue to play MK11 for years to come, most likely. So, my first part of this question to you is, who do you think are your top 5 characters now that MK11 has reached its end of its patch?
My top 5 characters.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll try to order this. I'd say
You don't have to.
Jackie.
Yeah, you don't have to put them in
Okay,
order, but if
Jackie
you
is
want to.
okay. All right, I'll probably not order them, but like Jackie is definitely top one. Like, I don't think there's any. I don't know why people assume like Cetriol, why people say Cetriol is top one. Jackie is 100% top one. And then I would say, okay, so top one is, let's say top one is ordered, and then the other four, I'll just say four other really good characters.
Okay.
Statrion, Joker, Cabal, and because like I'm used to like online, I haven't really played much offline. Like I'm gonna say Sub-Zero because like Sub-Zero is just so good online. Uh, yeah, so Jackie, Cetrion, Joker, Cabal, Sub-Zero, I'd say.
There you guys heard it. The BGH movement tier list for top 5. Tier list loads. Says
Yeah,
FGC.
I play like four of these five characters. I just noticed. Yeah,
Yeah,
play a bit of Cabal
yeah, that's
too,
fine.
actually.
Look, I didn't mean to get Joker as my main, one of my mains, because I would say my 3 mains are all DLC characters, which is funny enough. It was Joker, Nightwolf, and Sindel, and it's just funny that it happened that way. But it was,
Yeah.
it was.
Actually, yeah, Joker's like the one character I could like. There's not many characters that I like in MK11, but like Joker is definitely my favorite. And like
He's just
out of all the characters I play, like
I
he's
arguably
definitely my
think
favorite.
he's so fun. I just think he's so fun to
Yeah,
play.
yeah,
It's just he's mad, it's
yeah.
crazy, everything's out there. There's nothing to hide.
Yeah. I'm just a big fan of Joker in general. So even like before like he came out and like when he was announced, I already knew like that was gonna be my main. Like I don't care how he plays. I don't care if he's a Zoner, rushed out, whatever. I'm gonna main this character.
Nice.
So Joker's just yeah.
So talking about this question was a two-parter. Will you be joining the African NRS scene in the next game, or will you be moving
Yeah,
into
probably
another fighter?
like I mean for now like uh I'm like playing mostly casually because I just don't have it in me to like put in that amount of hours and still like be able to focus on my studies and stuff. So like
For sure.
the grind was like getting too much for me. But casually, yeah, I would love to like play the next NRS game, like try it out at least at the very least, and see how it is. Uh, Maybe
Nice.
start off casually. Maybe if I like it a lot, try be competitive in it. You know,
Invest the
never know.
time.
But yeah, I have an open mind.
Good.
Mm.
I'd like to hear that. I want to see you on the next one since you adopted this one so well. Now, I will say that if it is injustice, it's gonna be a big change. Big change.
Yeah, I mean, I like when I went into MK11, like I didn't know much about the Mortal Kombat characters, so it was hard to like attach myself to any specific character. But like I know way more about like superhero characters. So like if it's another Injustice game, like I would like yeah, I'd love that. Like it would be easier to like attach myself to like a
That's
certain
cool.
character, grind the game out and stuff.
Yeah, it's very cool. Actually,
Yeah.
you say that, and like I attached myself quite well to Harley Quinn because I'd followed Harley Quinn for ages
Mm.
before when the game had come
Yeah.
out, and I was like, oh my gosh, she's rad. She's in the next game. I'm so gonna play it. And then
Yeah.
6 months, and I was like, I fucking hate this game. I'm never playing it again. Now it's in the drawer. So it'll be interesting to see that.
Did you like the character at least? Did you like playing
I
Harley Quinn at least?
Dude, Harley Quinn was fantastically designed in Injustice 2. And if she comes back in
Yeah.
the next one, I will probably pick her up again.
That's the best feeling, like really liking a character and like it fitting your style and loving how they play. Like that's just the best.
Definitely.
Like,
I'd say she kind of had like
yeah.
and I see Stabs is in chat, so he'll know where this comes from. Is she had a very Kung Jin play style. Now that's from MKX. She had this very like she had a big stick. Yeah. So
Yeah.
we kind of going over time for the first to 5, so I'm going to move us on a little bit quickly here. So
Okay.
question number 5, which is my favorite question, which everyone gets to find out about, is where does the gamer tag BGH come from? Now, before you answer, your name has changed. You did ask for it to be referred to as BGH. So either you give us this one and the one before, or just this one. Up to you.
The BGH is easy to explain. Like literally, like I was going by Bob Grantham for a long time, and then on streams, and then I just saw like I would see like people saying like shortening my name to like BGH. Like I think it was Brian that probably started it, or Jivan, one of the two. So I saw that, I was like, oh, that looks really cool, and the guy's rooting for me. So I was like, yeah, let me just shorten it then, so like it's easier for people to root for me. So that one is simple. The other one is just, it's so random and I hate telling the story, but it was from when I was in high school, in year 9, I would say. And we had a substitute English teacher, and everyone was just giving out fake names to like mess with the substitute teacher, and everyone found it funny. And then like back then I was really like into basketball, so like what popped into my mind was the most random name is Bob, and the basketball player Grant Hill. So like I just put the two together, and I was like, I hope she believes this.
No
and
way.
then yeah, and I said that's my name, and she believed it. And like everyone just started laughing, and like people have just been referring me to that from like high school.
That's great.
That. Yeah, so
That's
it just stuck with me.
That's awesome. Yeah. That's awesome. I love that. That was actually
very random.
That is one of the most random ones I've heard, and that one was very much enjoyable.
Yeah.
Guys, there you go. You heard it. This is how the BGH movement began. Was via a joke with a substitute teacher.
Sounds really mean, but like it was all in good fun.
I'm sure it was. Yeah. Guys, we reached the end of our first half of our podcast. That was the first of 5. We're going into the bonus questions. If you haven't yet figured it out, if this is your first time joining us or you're a returning customer, you know that the way the conversation works is you just need to add Sheldzable in the chat if you'd like to ask Mr. BGH anything. Go ahead. Nothing is off brand. Just go ahead. Ask anything. And don't forget to obviously hit the plugs. At Bob Grant Hill on Twitter for BGH. The joke still stands. Please go.
Literally, I made it my email. I use it for usernames. I think I have a PSN account on that too as well. Like, I was using it for everything.
Nice.
It's just so random.
So yes, please go follow him. You'll see him doing the mostest on his Twitter. And obviously, same applies for me. You can follow me on Twitch. You can subscribe to me and like the video on YouTube. Please hit the notification bell, because the only thing that happens on YouTube is my podcast. So if you don't want to miss an episode, hit that up. And then obviously follow me on Twitter. Guys, ask your questions in the chat. Now we're going into the bonus questions. Bonus questions. BGH, are you ready?
Yes.
How many chickens would it take to kill an elephant?
Oh shit. 0.
0 chickens?
It's not possible.
You don't. Okay, I mean, there's a number. Like, there should be at least a number.
I mean, okay, I would say 100,000.
I'd say.
Yeah,
I'd say that'd be pretty. Yeah. That'd be pretty on point. I mean,
that would be overkill, but just to be safe.
I mean, I'd probably go with like maybe 896,412, but 900,000 is cool too.
That's such a. I was not ready for that question, to be honest.
In the event of an apocalypse,
yeah,
what 3 places are you going to gather supplies?
Okay, the big supermarket here is called Carrefour, so I'd go there, and where else? I'm not sure, to be honest, because you just need supplies from a supermarket and that's it.
I mean, probably, sure, but there could be some things that you want as well. In the it doesn't have to necessarily be.
Okay. Probably a video game store as well, because you want to keep yourself entertained.
Yeah. What games? Say that question.
Okay, and movie store. You have games and movies as well.
There's a couple movies. Going to old Blockbuster. Yeah. Yeah. Well,
so
I guess
you have everything.
Yeah, it is Man, he is just
I
a
forgot about
grocery
weapons
store.
and stuff, so I guess he
Oh,
died pretty
weapons.
quick.
Yeah, you're gonna have to go to a weapon store.
Yeah,
Damn. I didn't actually think of that. I
yeah, but
mean,
here we don't really have gun stores, and
dude, we don't have
like
gun stores here in
we
the
don't
UK
have that
either.
here.
Dude, we
Yeah,
did.
so
We did.
yeah, well, that's
We
you get
did.
everything you need from the supermarket.
100%. Yeah, we gotta. Yeah, I'm going. Yeah, literally, if I'm just going to my local grocery store, I'm not surviving the apocalypse. I'm just not surviving.
Yeah, yeah. Like you'd survive a food shortage, but yeah.
Yeah, sure. All right, let's move on
I
to
mean, you didn't
this.
specify what apocalypse actually,
I
so it could
didn't. I
be
didn't. I didn't say whether it was
yes,
zombie, nuclear, comet,
yeah. So you
extraterrestrial.
might not even need weapons.
We might
Actually,
not.
you always need weapons in an apocalypse, like because like people will turn on you anyway. So yeah, you need to defend
Fair,
yourself. So,
fair, fair, fair. Talking about The
yeah,
Walking Dead, last season started airing. I need to start watching that.
yeah,
Let's go into the next question. So the daily hustle is what keeps us all going, day in and day out. I know me,
mm-hmm.
Fighting games
Yeah,
is not my full-time hobby. The podcast is not my full-time hobby. Um,
mm-hmm.
some of us consider this just a fun hobby, which I do, and it's a passion project for some. Um,
Mm-hmm.
while others chase the sponsorship in the long run. So take
Yeah.
us through the day-to-day for BGH, what you do for work, school, college, varsity,
Yes.
how you lab,
So yeah.
and then
So when
tell
I was
me
really
which.
grinding the game,
Sorry, let me just say
yeah.
that. And then tell me which side of the spectrum you lie on, whether it's a passion project, hobby, or you chasing that sponsorship.
Okay, so yeah, when I was really grinding the game hard, like my schedule was really different from now. I was like, I was more like, because I'm in university right now, so I would have like my online, like I would have my online classes, like 6 hours in a day. So I'd have 3 hours and then a break of like 2 hours and then another 3 hours. So in that break of 2 hours, like I'd be playing the game. Then in the evening as well, like any small amount of time I can get between studying and like playing the game, I'd be doing that. So I was playing a lot, and back then, even back then, like I wasn't. It was like I was really passionate about the game. Don't get me wrong, and I really wanted to like win tournaments and stuff, but I wasn't really like focused on like getting a sponsor or anything because like in my head I was just thinking like I don't really need a sponsor because like most of like the most of what we do here is like online tournaments and online exhibitions. So I didn't really see the point of a sponsor then.
Sure.
And towards the end, like when I was getting like closer to not playing the game anymore, like I was being reached out as well by sponsors. But at that point, I was like I'm not like I'm feeling like dropping the game, and so it wouldn't be right for me to like take up a sponsorship when I'm not
Yeah.
100%
Your heart would have been in it. Yeah.
exactly, yeah. So I was like, I'm not gonna take it just for the sake of it. If I'm taking a sponsorship, then it would be for like I would be putting my 100% in it. So I knew I couldn't do that. So I had to pass up on that. Yeah. So I've always been passionate with competing and stuff. If I was still competing now, I'd probably be chasing a sponsorship. But yeah, yeah,
No,
I'd say that.
no, that's cool.
Yeah, my schedule is really different now
that's
when I'm not playing at MK11.
I like that. That was honest. It was just as it was, as it comes. That's.
Mm-hmm.
I think a lot of people need to remember that and just be honest with yourself when it comes to these kind of things. Because
Mm-hmm.
if you sit here and chase something, that you're just gonna burn yourself out, and
Yep.
what good does that do?
Yep. Speaking of burnout, like that's a huge thing that like people need to be able to manage when it comes to like competing and like getting better. Like you need to take your breaks off and like so fundamental. Like the first year and like and so I was not taking any breaks. I was just playing and playing, and I just found myself getting salty all the time. And the first actual break that I took was like a break that was forced on because like I injured my left hand, so like I physically couldn't play.
Oh
So I
no.
had to take a break of like 2 weeks. So after that, I realized this is so refreshing, like coming back after not playing for so long. Like it's such a huge deal.
Nice.
Definitely take breaks.
Yeah, for sure. Well, I mean, I haven't played for a couple months now. And that's okay because I've been helping out on FGC Africa side of things, and I'll probably play a little bit more, but I've got a child on the way, and I want to play all the games that I wanted to play before baby arrives.
Yeah.
And I sold my Oculus Quest yesterday. I don't know if you guys know what an Oculus Quest is, but it's a standalone VR headset. And I think about the thing, and I was just like, man, I can't wait to get my PS5. I was like, I just sold it. I was like, I'm selling this to get a PS5 because I was like, I'd rather because I know I'm not going to have as much gaming time, but I know that when I do have it there, I want to play games that I love, and I want to play things that I enjoy. And if I'm going to be playing games right now, I want to be playing the games that I love. So that's what I've been doing.
So you're having fun with?
Yeah, I'm having fun with the games that I really enjoyed. I replayed God of War, and fuck me, dude, that game is brilliant. Have you played it?
The one on PS4.
Yeah, the new one.
Yeah, that was the first God of War I played. Amazing,
dude.
Yeah, because I didn't have a PS3, I had an Xbox 360, so all the PS3 exclusives that everyone grew up on, I never experienced any of those. So, playing the PS4 version, I was just amazed. It's just one of my favorite games.
Yeah, dude, it really was incredible. So I played it on New Game Plus, and I increased the difficulty. Not to give me God of War, but
I need to do that.
The one below it, and damn, it was hard. I thought give me God of War would have been really, really difficult, but even the one below it, you guys know when you kill all the Valkyries and then you got to go and then play Sigrun.
Oh, it was the worst.
I think it took me about a week to beat her, a genuine week. And when I did it, I was just like, yeah.
It's so satisfying, yeah, and it's so fun as well. That's what makes it there are games that are hard, but they're not fun.
Yeah.
So it feels like a chore, but with that game, it's hard and it's also fun. So
it's that real sense of accomplishment. And I saw someone. I went on the Reddit afterwards. I was like, oh, let me check out how many other people. I went to go check out people beat her on Give Me God of War mode, and I was and the first comment on it was has anyone ever felt such a sense of accomplishment after beating this? And I was just like, dude, it was such. I
remember that it was like a viral video as well, of beating the Valkyrie boss on the hardest difficulty. I remember seeing briefly some of that. Just curious how that would look, and it's just insane.
Dude, what a achievement to achieve, and I think that that's what I've been doing a lot with platinum trophies. I've been hunting platinum trophies. And doing all the achievements and doing a couple things. So I just did that with Final Fantasy 7 Remake. That was really fun. That was my favorite game of all time. I tried
to do that with most games I play, but if they have I used to go for them a lot before, but nowadays if they have some collectible thing you have to go here, you have to go here 100 times, I usually just forget it. But if it's doable, I usually go for it.
And then I played the most obscure game. I never thought I'd enjoy it so much, and I know someone in chat suggested it was Undertale. I've just gotten to the end. I haven't finished it. Have you played Undertale?
I've heard of it. I've always wanted to play it, but it's looking for the right time. I guess.
It's like nothing I've ever played in my life. It's honestly the most unique game I've ever played, hands down. Absolutely hands down. So if I could suggest anything to you, go ahead and play that. But let's not get to
I saw it on PS now, so probably sometime I'll get into it.
Yeah.
As long as it's still on PS now.
Yeah, it's on PS now. That's how I'm playing it. I'm also playing on PS now. So get it before it goes off. Gotta play it. But yeah, I'm swaying too far from the conversation. But yeah, Burnout. Play games that you enjoy as well. Play games that you enjoy. So,
that's why we play games at the end of the day.
Yeah, at the end of the day, we also, we're gamers. And I think one of my questions to you is about that. But my next question to you is something that I ask everyone. And now I've split it into a two-parter because I think it's only fair for everyone now. So, it's who's your favorite African player at the moment? And it's from the north and south, and you can only name one player from both sides. If you prefer to only give one from the south, that's up to you, if you don't know enough about the north. But you can only give me one, and who's your must-watch player?
Okay, so yeah, I watched the like I whenever like North and West are having like an event or something, like I usually tune in because like I always find it interesting, like just having a look at like different like regions play. You always see something new. So I've watched quite a bit of the North and West, and I would say my favorite would probably have to be Hamza, uh, really great Cabal player. He's just insane with his conversions, his optimization.
Yeah,
Everything is just amazing, and he's so clutch. Like, yeah, I love watching him play. He's great.
the man definitely knows his
Uh,
buttons. That's for sure.
huh? Pardon?
I said the man definitely knows his buttons. That,
Oh yeah,
I've
for
never
sure.
seen
Yeah,
him
yeah.
miss a button. No bad input.
Very clean. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, like when you see a player like that's just very clean, rarely makes mistakes and stuff. Like it's a sight to see. It's like when you see like MK11 how it's meant to be played. It's just amazing.
Yeah.
Um, South and East. I'm gonna cheat a little and say a player that doesn't play anymore. Is probably Brandon. Like I remember like seeing him play for the first time. It was next level. It was just amazing how he like his neutral, actually very similar to Hamza, but he just didn't play Cabal. Yeah, so he was my
Well,
favorite to watch for sure. And to play against as well. Like
yeah.
definitely the most fun I've ever had in sets was versus him.
Look,
Like
Brandon
just
is he is. Look,
insane.
good friend of mine. I've
Yeah.
known him for many years, and yeah, nothing's really changed.
Mhm.
Um,
Yeah, and you said must watch player as well. So this is a bonus. Like
okay,
doesn't have to be any of the two I mentioned. I
sure.
would say I would say definitely the flavor. He's definitely improving every day, and you can really see the hunger in his like in the way he plays. He's really grinding. He's really trying to get better. It's great to see.
Yeah, no, look, he is the protege of 5,000, but I think now more teammates.
Yeah.
Um,
Hmm.
yeah, actually, I must actually give him a call. Maybe we can have a chat as well. Let's get him on.
Yeah,
Let's
that would
get
be
this new
cool.
blood. Um, yeah,
Yeah,
look, just to go back onto Brandon, Brandon helped out a lot in FGC Africa. Not only was he competing at such a high level, but
yeah.
the way he helped out in FGC Africa as one of our admins for a long period of time, and then he hanged up his hats just a couple months ago. I'd say a better part of 6 months ago. He said, I'm out for a bit, but we'll probably see him back on the next.
Mm.
And if you would like to see my interview with him, me and him had a long chat about his accomplishments in the FGC. He's one of the first episodes, maybe one, two, or three. So if you guys would like to go see that chat with Sho Khan, please go check that in my channel. Um, I love
Yeah.
hearing. I love hearing.
Before you continue, can I just shout out like the other players that like do admin work and play at the same time that are just
Yeah,
amazing.
of
Like
course you can.
I'd have to say like Para, like he's just a great player. He's like very underrated because like he downplays himself with the I'm not ready OS and all that stuff.
Oh yes.
But yeah, he's a very amazing player and like he does a lot of admin work as well. So that's great. And
Does.
AK Slay, he's also similar to the flavor. He's really improving. So that's really great to see. Like yeah.
Yeah. No, definitely. Para recently rejoined the admin team, which was great to have him.
Mm.
And AK Slay was with us for was with us throughout CGL, Kana Africa, and he also
Mm.
he dropped his duties just a couple months ago to focus on his own projects, and it's great. Guys come and go, and they get part of
Yeah.
it. Part of the FGC Africa channel and brand, which you guys know quite well. Um, these
Mhm.
people do so much. They do, and,
Yeah.
and Para specifically with a very big recent accomplishment, having won week one of the Varsity Vibe Kombat Cup with some of
Yeah,
the
and that was the toughest week
some
because
of
like
the
everyone was there.
ugliest,
No
yeah,
one.
yeah, exactly,
Yeah.
with some of the ugliest steals I've ever seen in my life. But someone said, "Is it really steals if he's winning?" And I was like, "You're so true, so
Yeah.
true." It's just
Ira is just so composed. Like
So
he, like
composed.
in those like little scrambles, like he'll most of the time he'll come out on top because like he just has that, he's a doctor in real life, so he has that composure down. Yeah.
100%, 100%. Um,
Mhm.
yeah, shout outs to all those players, and I really enjoyed your perspective on a couple of them. So, talking about competitive gaming earlier, and we were talking about us being gamers. It doesn't necessarily have to be only fighting games. Now, we know that someone, Brandon, he stopped fighting games and he went on to Apex and he's just enjoying himself competing in that competitively. Um, and that's it. A lot of people do that. Like myself, I'm not playing fighting games right now, but doesn't mean don't love them. And that's my question to you. Is there any other game that you compete in at a high level, other than fighting games, or something else that's bigger in Kenya?
Um, well, there was before like I started playing MK11. Like I was really like grinding out Apex and Fortnite when it was new. That
Yeah.
was like the first time like I was considering like playing like video game like competitively. I've always liked playing shooters. I've always been like really competitive in shooters. But right now, like no, not so much. Like right now, I'm just playing casually. Like if I had the time to like play something competitive, it would definitely be a fighting game. So
All
right
right.
now, it's just enjoying like the casual side of things.
Nice.
Don't have the time to grind anymore.
Fair enough. All right. Talking about
Yeah.
favorites, and we were talking about things that we love, and I was like, well, damn, I better not get this question in too early. But this is where we find out about the things that you love, and
Mm.
these are your favorite things. So, what I want to know from you is, what are your favorite movies, series, music, and food at this time in your life?
You said what was the order? Movies? You
Movies?
cut out a bit.
No worries. Movies,
Mhm.
series, music, and food. What's your favorite of all four of those at this time of your life?
Okay. I would say Fight Club would be favorite movie,
Yeah?
and series is kind of tough because there's so many good ones. Can I just say a series that I'm watching like recently
Yeah,
that's
of
really good?
course.
Like not necessarily my favorite, but like
Yeah, of
comes to
course.
mind because I'm watching it recently. Ted Lasso is really good. I
I've
really
got,
like that show.
I've
Very
I've
funny.
got that DL'd. I need to watch it. I'm busy watching a series called
Oh yeah,
Dave
you do.
about Little Dicky, and his like how he became to be a
Uh,
rapper. And that's also, I think
is it any good?
it's incredible. It's actually incredible. I've loved it so much that
I'll check it
I
out.
fucking followed him on Twitter and Instagram. I knew about his music, but I didn't realize that he
Mhm.
could make such a good show. And just another my own recommendation. So that's your favorite series is Ted Lasso, the moment. That's about that football coach who comes to
Yeah,
coach a.
really funny.
Yeah, I'm gonna watch that.
Yeah,
And favorite
yeah.
music at this time in your life?
Then I would say probably Get Free by Major Lazer.
Major Laser.
Yeah. Yeah. And favorite food. Uh, everyone says pizza. That's everyone's most common answer. But
Every
like
time.
I'll say lasagna is my favorite. It's sort of a
Lasagna.
similar thing, but like yeah, it's sort of a similar thing to like pizza, but like yeah,
Nothing
lasagna is
like
my
comfort
favorite.
food, hey? Everyone goes for comfort food. That's for sure. I agree. I agree. Well,
Yeah.
talking about favorites, we had to split this question because I think this one deserved its own. Give us your top five games in your lifetime.
Okay. I'm not gonna order these because like they're all just really
Com-
good. I would
completely true.
say, yeah, I would say BioShock Infinite.
Oh, yeah,
Um, I really liked Red Dead Redemption 1 and 2, like, but I can't obviously choose that as like one game. So
sure.
if I had to pick one, I'd say 2
Okay,
and The Witcher 3.
okay.
Uh, I need two more. So, oh, Pokemon Diamond and Pearl, specifically like the Pearl one, because that's the one I played on DS.
Okay,
One of my favorite games as a kid.
nice.
And I need a fifth one. Oh, as Fallout New Vegas as well.
Fallout New
Really good game.
Vegas. So you're not a Fallout 3, you're a
Yeah.
Fallout New Vegas fan.
No, I didn't really get to play three because like I wasn't like aware of like the franchise back then. But like I remember I played Skyrim and then I was like, oh, I need more of this. Like this is amazing.
This kind of genre.
So then I played Fallout New Vegas as well because I heard it's really good and I ended up loving it. So
Nice. You know what I always
yeah,
find with this
I
question,
didn't
it
really like
always tends to be what.
4 as much.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't like the Fallout 4 as much as New Vegas, but like yeah, New Vegas was just too good. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Well, I'll tell you what. I think a lot of people always one of their games that they had when they were younger always makes the list. Always makes the list because it's that game
Oh
that,
yeah.
that kept you hooked and you disappeared to that other world.
Oh. I spent so much time on Pokemon on my DS and like under my duvet, just I'm supposed to be sleeping and I'm there just getting enveloped in like the whole world of it is
Nice.
good memories.
Good, good. We've reached the
Yeah.
we've reached the end of our first to 10 side of things before we move on. So I'm just going to ask this last one. So your Twitter bio says the fight is everything, which I thought was quite interesting. You know, one of the most inspiring things of fighting games was the 1v1, which we spoke about earlier. You only have yourself to blame when you don't come out on top. So some other players find ways to get into the zone. You know, Parrot makes clutch moments and the things. But I want to know what's going through your head and what you are doing to prep before these high-end matches that you've competed in. What are you doing?
It's a lot of preparation and like usually like I'd have an idea of who's in like the tournament like I'm playing in. So I would do a lot of like studying on like them. Like I've played so many. I've played almost everyone in like the South and East African scene. Like whether I meet them in KL or played them in casual. So I have a good idea of like all the players in the scene. So I think back to like how their tendencies and how they play and everything. So I study that, try to find like a counter for them, and go in the lab, see what works, see if I can find good tech and stuff. And yeah, and all that preparation it really helps me like go into matches more calm, even though like the nerves will always be there.
Yeah.
But just having like a game plan is really good if you wanna like if you're suffering from like nerves. Like I used to suffer a lot from nerves. Just going in with a game plan really helps. And yeah, that's pretty much my prep. And the term like the fight is everything was I actually got it from Para. Like I remember like because I'll talk to him a lot like after like tournaments and stuff or in between tournaments. Like let's say I like had a really bad loss or like had a like a laggy match and I'd be salty and like talking to him and like he told me to like watch this ending video of like I think it was Street Fighter 3 or Street Fighter 2
Mm-hmm.
and like the ending tagline was like because like Ryu like when they were like Ryu had won the tournament and when they were giving everyone like they were doing the award ceremony like he was nowhere to be seen and like he went off to like continue training like so the point of it was like he doesn't care about ceremonies and all of that stuff it's the fight that is everything so that really that really got to me so it really changed my perspective on things and like it doesn't matter if you lose it just what matters is like you got to that point and you gave it your all and that the hours and hours of like training to get to that point is what really matters like whether you come second first last it shouldn't like get to you
For sure. Wow. That's a really great way to end the first to 10 side of things. The fight is everything. It's how you decide to play the game, and it's how you decide to be seen. What a great way to end that.
Yeah.
Well done, PJ. That was really good.
Thanks.
Yeah, great. You know what's going on next. Now we're going to get competitive. So before I conclude, and we get into the Speedfire Fun Trivia Quiz, I'm going to have a look at the chat for some questions, and I'm going to have some responses on a couple of these messages because I've been just getting chipped. Left, right, and center in the chat here. So Brian saying, lol, Shelds thinks he's remotely good. Pal, I will eat your shit alive. Don't even.
Oh, Sout series.
Yeah, Soul
The
series loading.
return.
He doesn't want to throw hands with me. He doesn't want to. Anyways,
You better watch out for Brian Shao Kahn. He's really something to watch out for.
yeah. I'd rather be third, not second. Stabs. Like, I don't understand what that was, but I'll move on. Looking for some at Shelds. Do do do. What happens if you press Control Alt 4 stabs? Okay, so now they were messaging about Alt F4 in the chat. Now, for anyone who wants to know what that
The
means,
oldest trick in the book.
oldest trick in the book on Steam is if you over it and you want to rage quit, just bam Alt F4, and I'll tell you what, my friend Stabs over there, I beat him 10-0 in the first 10, and he straight up just Alt F4 to me. He didn't talk to me for a whole day, and just came back and told me the truth, and I was like, I respect it.
You have a lot of beef with everyone in chat.
Yeah, it looks like Chess is hating on me today. That's all good. Let's have a look for these things. Loads of love coming in for Bilal here from Kaida, Sanazuki, AK Slay.
Yeah.
It's great to see a bunch of you guys putting up.
Like honestly, like I was like thinking of like just dropping like MK11 a long time ago, but like what really like kept me going is like all the support that I'd be getting, like even like when I'd like have a really bad loss, like like watching back the matches and just seeing all that support like that was coming through. That was really what like kept me play, just one more tournament. So that's really great. Like,
well, that's a great way to segue a question into Kada's question, which he says, Bilal is so soft spoken and calm, but I'm sure the dragon has come out many times. And then he starts shouting, saying, "Question! What's your trigger, Bilal? What makes you tilted?"
Okay, in like when it comes to like playing in tournament and stuff, like the one thing that really gets to me is, well, I think everyone gets tilted by lag, so I'm not gonna say lag because like that everyone. But like when I'm fighting against a character and I just feel like I don't really have other options apart from like guessing and making reads for my life, like that really tilts me. And you'd think that Sub-Zero's like O2 and back 3 mix up would be the craziest thing, but like that doesn't annoy me as much as like Shao Kahn with his dumb mind games with forward 3 and forward 3 shoulder and forward 3-4 whatever. All like that really like grinds my gears, like fighting against that sort of playstyle. And especially it's someone like Vuyo who like he's not afraid to like risk his life on a 4-3 shoulder and whatnot. He just doesn't care. Like yeah, that really gets me.
All right, there you go. The that's what tilts him. And then I think he asked another one and said, and he shouted it again as well. Last question. Every man has one thing that he wants but can't have. So what's that one thing, Bilal? What's the one thing that you want to have right now? Is it something that you want to buy? PS5?
I mean, that's tough. Probably, well, it can be anything.
I mean, yeah, sure. I would rather look at it as what is that one thing in your life that you really want right
now? All right. Well-paying job in esports that like I can sustain myself with. That would be something that I really want.
That's rad. I like that. Okay, yeah. Slay asks, he says, your Twitter handle, I loved this. This was my favorite thing. Every time you used to like one of my tweets, is Bilal and 99 others. Meaning you have the strength of 100 men, as you have proven in the FGC. How do you deal with being too competitive as a downfall to the return in MK11? Do you feel like you can be too competitive?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it's like... It really was a big factor when it came to like me deciding to like stop playing, because like I was getting really competitive, and like when I would suffer like a defeat, and obviously like I've gone through like so many like tournaments where like I really thought this was my tournament and I end up like coming second, and I remember like AK Slay's tournament series, the Battle of the Thrones, like that was the first like big tournament. Like I had, those weeks of qualifiers, I managed to qualify, and like that was the first big tournament for me.
Yeah.
And I had like Killjoy and Justin and Mark, so like this was my time to like prove myself, and like I was playing so well, I was doing so well, and then I just ended up falling short in like grand finals. So like being so competitive and being like so close to winning and like falling short a lot, like it really got to me a lot.
Fair.
But yeah, at the end of the day, like after like a week or so, like I'd be salty for like a couple of days, and after a week or so, I just get right back at it and try again. So the feeling never really lasted long, but like consecutively, like it would pile up and like it would be too much. But yeah,
good to hear. All right, Daedalus asks the same question he asks every time, and it's would you rather fight one dinosaur-sized chicken or 100 chicken-sized dinosaurs?
I mean, yeah, it's so obvious. Like, I'm not gonna want to fight 100 dinosaurs, no matter like how small they are. Like, I don't want to fight 100 of them.
Yeah,
that would be terrifying. One dinosaur-sized chicken is obviously
I don't know,
the
dude.
easiest answer.
Chickens are pretty
like
terrifying.
Brian said, you can just hide from it.
I guess.
I mean, yeah.
Stupid, hey?
I don't. The feeling of being swarmed by like 100, like it would be too much. No, like how do you escape that? You can probably like outmaneuver the chicken or something. Get away from it. But
yeah.
You're not getting away from like 100 dinosaurs.
I don't know, but I think if a chicken was gigantic, I think like it's very possible that it would be a little.
It might not even want to kill you, like.
Yeah, I guess it would just
all just
like
assuming the chicken. It might just go. It might just go do its own thing, but a dinosaur, like it's easy.
Yeah, they're gonna want to kill you. So. Yeah, like 100 little.
Yeah.
I mean, you saw those little dinosaurs in Jurassic Park. 100 of those attacking you, you're gonna die.
God.
But I think you're right. If there was one big dinosaur-sized chicken, you have like at least a 50-50 chance of survival. I'm on your side. I mean, but there is someone I would rather fight.
I mean, I think Kaneni said he wanted to fight 100 dinosaurs.
I think he did. Hey,
what? That's insane.
Oh, he did.
Yeah.
I think he did. All right, this is Carrie going through chat. Big shout out to everyone. I see you guys have been having a great time in chat. I'm looking for @Shelds all over here quickly just to make sure I get through every question that's come through. Beef match shuttle. Reptile for Kombat Pack 7? Oh, come on. Is that really what I got to fucking fight? There's no more Kombat Packs. You're all wrong. But I would say if there's another Mortal Kombat, I would be quite disappointed if they didn't bring Reptile and the robots back. Like severely disappointed. If Cyrex or Sector didn't make it, I would be pretty pissed off.
Yeah, actually, like I played a little bit of MKX and like I really liked Reptile's design and everything. Like that was, I think if he was in MK11, like that would be one of my mains. Like he's a really cool character.
Very cool character.
Gameplay design and everything just really fit well with me.
All right, BGH, we're at it. Welcome to the Speedfire Fun Trivia Quiz. It's different from last season is that anything goes. I do kind of make it on topic for the person obviously playing. The rules are you have 5 to 10 seconds to answer. Okay. It's out of 7, meaning that there are 2 questions out of 2. And there's 5 questions in total. Them's the rules. Do you understand?
Yep. Seen it many times, so I'm ready.
Good. The person in top place is Marcus Shark with 5 out of 7. Blino with 4.5 out of 7. Then Ganani in 3rd. 4th and 5th shared by AK Slay and Mr. 5000. And Daedalus in the solid donut place of 5th. That's it. Them's the scoreboard. The season ends after Cholwe, so you are one of the people that gets a fighting chance here to get to the top of the scoreboard and cement your name in Speedfire Fun Trivia Quiz history. BJ, are you ready?
Yes, I'm ready.
Alright. Name 3 NRS games other than MK11 that Joker has been in.
Oh, that's hard. Okay, Injustice 1.
Yes.
Oh wait, this is easy. Injustice 1, Injustice 2, and Mortal Kombat versus DC.
Correct. Well done. It is easy. This is a hard question.
Yeah, I just realized Injustice, that's two free answers.
Yeah, that is two free answers. Correct. Joker has two strings that are -2 on block. What are they? You can use the notations.
One of them is 1-2-1,
Mm-hmm.
and he has another -2 string.
It does.
This is a string.
It's a string, correct.
I'm pretty sure it's only 1-2-1.
Well, it's actually 4-3-2. So you only get one out of the question. Luckily.
4-3-2. Oh my god. Yeah.
Okay.
How could I forget that?
Kenya.
No one ever uses that string, so.
No, exactly, no one does, but it is -2. So Kenya is
Sneaky,
named
sneaky.
after Mount Kenya, the tallest mountain in the country and the second highest in Africa after Kilimanjaro. True or false?
Mm.
Pardon?
I mean, the first part. I don't think the first part is true. That Kenya is named after Mount Kenya, but it is.
True or false? Gotta give me an answer.
Oh, just okay. I'm gonna say false.
That is true.
True? How? Okay.
It's on the wiki.
All right.
Wikipedia don't lie.
Oh, it's on the wiki. Okay. I shouldn't have overthought it.
No,
Yeah,
it
that was a trick question.
is a trick question. It is a trick question. So, how many languages are there spoken in Kenya?
Languages.
Yeah.
You said it's a trick question. Okay.
This one's not a trick
There's
question. There's
one language, Swahili. There's a lot. Okay, I'm just gonna say a random number, 52.
Oh, you were so close. I did say that I actually put a little thing in exclamation marks here saying I'd give you a half a point if you got close. Because when I found this out, I was like, dude, that's more than I thought. There's 68 languages spoken in Kenya. What the fuck?
68. Wow.
So
that's crazy.
all right.
So I get half a point for being close.
You do get half a point for getting close. So I thought that would only be fair.
Okay.
And the last question is, what are people with xenophobia afraid of?
Xenophobia. Is that spelled with an S?
It's spelled with a C.
Fear of clowns.
Oh man, that would have been good. Can you be? It probably is a phobia for clouds, but it's the fear of dogs.
Oh, dogs! I'm actually scared of dogs, so I should know this.
Oh man, you would have tied with Blino if you managed to get Oh, actually you did. Oh no, you missed the 4-3-2. Damn. But you did.
Oh, that was so easy too.
That one was easy. It was easy. You did get 2 points for Injustice, Mortal Kombat 2X, MK vs DC, and Injustice. You got 1 point for 1-2-1, or the Joker string. You didn't get a point for the true and false for Kenya. You got half a point for the languages, which gives you 3.5, and that puts you in 4th place.
Oof.
But that moves.
Missed out on 2 easy points.
You did. You missed out on 2 very easy points. But that moves AK Slay and Mr. 5000 down to 5th. And that puts Daedalus in 6th. So, well done. You did very, very well.
Alright.
BGH with 3.5.
Thanks.
There we go. Well done. I know it's not easy, but you did well.
Thank you. I mean, I missed out on the 2 easiest questions, but yeah.
Don't worry about it.
If I got those 2 points, where would I have placed?
If you had gotten those 2 points, that would have put you in 1st.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I missed out on 1st like that.
I know. It's just, yeah, if you had gotten those 2 points, that would have put you in 1st place because you would have had 5.5, and that would have been, would have beaten Mark's of 5 out of 7.
Well, that's very similar to my competitive history. Always choking and missing out on that.
Just this close. This close. Well, there's always next time. BGH, I'm sure we will have you on again sometime in the future. But that brings
That
us
would be cool.
that brings us to the end of the podcast. So I have to obviously thank the chat, everyone. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I really appreciate it. Please check out my YouTube for more episodes, and please follow me on all the socials. I'm on Twitch, I'm on YouTube, and I'm on obviously on Twitter. Like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. You've heard this many times again. If you'd like some trivia questions featured, please feel free to DM me. My channels are all open. If you'd like to pop some trivia questions, I'll tell you what, it is quite fun searching out questions to ask, but I also like free questions to be handed to me. Chelwe from Zambia is returning next week. We've got a date implemented, so that's next week, Tuesday. We are moving the podcast to Tuesdays to help accommodate the other African streamers so that we're not stealing from each other. AK Slay on Wednesdays, Charlie Wolf on Thursdays, FGC Africa on Mondays. You got something every day of the week except Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. But Kano Africa does return, so we got that coming on September 18th and 19th, which is a weekend. And I hope you've entered BGH.
Part of Africa. No, I have exams and don't have the time for tournaments anymore.
Break my heart.
Yeah, sorry. But I'm sure it's going to be an exciting one. Lots of players coming up. It's going to be. I'll definitely be there watching. Yeah, looking forward to it.
Yeah. BJ said, "Can we have a feat reveal?" I'll tell you what. If we can get my channel to 1,000 subscribers, why not?
Who said that?
Kada Reborn. Many thanks
to you. Of course, it was done.
Yeah. BJ, many thanks for you, my man, for coming on the channel, taking some time out of your day. I really appreciate it. That was a lot of fun. And like every single show, I ask you to please close us out. Any last words from you, my man?
I'd just say great stuff what the admin team is doing. Charlie Wolf, AK has his tournament series. There's Part of Africa coming up, so lots of stuff to watch for our scene. So that's really great. And just players who, we need to work hard and level up, and we need to catch up to the international scene. Just keep grinding.
Keep that grind up, guys. That's it. From closing words from BGH, it is keep up that grind, and we'll see you next time. Cheers, everyone.